Hi everyone, it's Linda here from Banjo's Bead House, and I'm just doing a little wrap up of our Bead with Linda projects, which were part of the Banjo's Bead House Seed Bead September 2025 program. So at the start of it, everyone was able to purchase some little packs of beads and bits that I was planning to use for 3 different projects. And over the last couple of weeks, we've been working on those projects. They were all seed bead embroidery projects, and throughout them, it was a skill builder. The first project was a little, taste of a couple of basic techniques and an edging. We added to that in our second project, and then the third project, which I didn't have planned out at all before I started the series, has become, actually my favorite of all three, because it just hit. I'm one of those, late afternoon inspirations after a long day. Inspiration struck, and the gold happened. So lots and lots of fun sharing that with all of you. And I wanted to take a moment to take a look at the finished projects. So I'm going to tip you guys down, but I'm just going to get that camera to focus before I do that. And we'll take a look at the 3 projects that we finished. So the first project we finished, which was the little earrings. So we had fun creating these with this acrylic piece, with some rhinestone cup chain, and we edged it off with some O beads, using brick stitch, and showing you guys that technique, and putting some of our new faux leather range on the back, as well as attaching a little wire guardian on a piece to make a pair of earrings. So that was a great little intro for a few people who had never done seed bead embroidery before. So it was great to get everyone's feedback that they enjoyed that, and they were looking forward to the next projects. So the next one, during the video series, you might have seen me show a pink piece. He's still not finished. It's going to be a little pendant, but the intention was to show you guys a piece using this rhinestone flower, with the magnet on the back. So we had some fun creating all of this. I then took it home and completely redid it, as one does, and combined both the ginkgos and the kite beads on the design. During the live session, you saw me just use the kite beads. I did demo this little seed bead peyote technique, and then we finished it off with some of the O beads on the edge, which we showed in the first project, so I didn't show that component. The other fun part of this one was actually doing the magnet. So this was my first time experimenting with a magnet. So this turns this into a magnetic brooch. So part of the challenge was, how do we stick it down? So we did that with some double-sided tape. Um, so that's actually securing the anchor in, the magnet in, sorry. I showed you guys how I cut out my holes. We secured all of that in. And then I did brick stitch and double-sided leather on the other half of the magnet. So when it goes together, you just got a cute little, extra little circle of beads. This part will rest against your body, or inside layer of clothes, and then this would be on the outside. I didn't cover those magnets because when I tested it, when I covered that, they lost a lot of their strength. So if you're going through quite a few layers of clothes, then it wouldn't hold. So I left them exposed so you could have as strong a magnet as possible. So that was project number 2, our nice little sparkly flower. Project number 3 is the flower piece. So we started off with this teardrop acrylic. So the key's kind of edge has been buried under flowers. My original intention was to demonstrate the 2 needle peyote stitch and actually go out quite wide, playing around with a variety of beads in the pack. And you guys got a whole lot of beads to play with in this one because I didn't have a firm idea. I ended up finishing it without the extra row that I showed you guys on the video. So we've just got 2 bands of, 1 band of seed beads and one which is bugle beads and little 2 mil faceted stones, and this fun little crown of all of the flowers, which was just the sheer joy of play. To finish it, it was the blue suede on the back, brick stitch edge, which we've done across all 3 projects. When I did the live video, I actually showed you guys I was going under the thread path here. When I took it home, I actually did stitch in 2 little blue seed beads sitting on top, of the O beads and joined my little bail, which we did in the video, to that. So this is our double right angle weave bail. And as I said, I was going to do the double right angle weave rope. So I spent the night making double right angle weave rope. I did secure it with soldered steel gold plated rings. So that way I could just simply change out a magnet onto it rather than making a very big seed beaded toggle clasp. This one allows me just to have that ease of a magnet pull. And if somebody prefers a different clasp, it's an easy swap out with those tiny little rings that are stitched in. And then being soldered, they are not going to slip through any thread. To do that, I just have 2 of the size 15 golds, that ring replacing an 11 on that end tip. And I went around a couple of times just to secure that. But that is all 3 of the projects that we created during Seed Bead September Bead with Linda. So hopefully I've got them all on screen now. So I hope you had fun viewing along, and for those of you who bought the packs, creating with me. It was a lot of fun putting this one together with all sorts of beads that I've been looking at and thinking, do I add them to the range or don't I? The flowers are definitely coming onto the range as soon as I can get stock order sorted. And then I'm looking at some acrylic shapes that we may or may not bring into the range in the new year, just to let everyone have a little bit more fun playing around with this sort of stuff. And I look forward to the next time we get to do a Bead with Linda project series. So thank you for participating in this one, and I'll see you guys next time.